longing to be loved, appreciated, needed, understood, and affirmed. Find love, walk love, live love. Beyond imagination.
Freedom. Freedom is a state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. Now we need to also analyze these two, imprisonment and slavery. Imprisonment is a state of being in captivity, while slavery is a state of being a slave. We need to also understand what a slave is. A slave is a person who is a legal property of another and is forced to actually obey them. Now, there is a factor that subjects people to slavery, and that is lack. Lack is in the center of slavery. And then what is lack? Lack is a state of being without or enough of something. And lack can be in a number of areas of life. You can have lack of knowledge, lack of finance, lack of discipline, lack of plan, lack of patience, lack of peace, lack of security, lack of maturity, lack of order, lack of love, and lack of faith. Now, when you are in lack, you will never be free. Lack remains central in anyone who subjects themselves to someone else. So we need to actually look into the fact that as long as you are in lack, you can never be free. You need to address the issue of lack in your life. Now, the word free means not to be subjected to something or someone. But as soon as you are subjected to someone or something, you are in lack. Paul says in Galatians chapter number 4, verse number 1, he says, what I am saying is that for as long as the heir is underage, is no different from a slave, although he owns the whole estate. What he's actually saying is that the heir is subjected to guardians and trustees until the time set by the father. In other words, the heir remains to be unable to do certain things because, in this case, of being underage. And being underage can refer to a number of things in life. If you cannot be able to handle certain things in your life, you may as well be regarded as being underage. If you cannot actually be able to think in a particular level, you can as well be referred as being underage. But then the scripture actually says, until when? The time set by the Father. But then when is that time and how long is that time? It's until you equip yourself with the right knowledge and until you can actually handle finances, including the 10 rand that is in your pocket, until you are disciplined enough, until you actually have a plan, until you are patient with yourself, until you are at peace with your situation around you, and until you are safe for someone to can trust you, and until you can show a level of maturity, until you actually have some form of order which other people can actually understand, and until you can actually portray some level of love and appreciation, then you actually then can be able to be accepted and be trusted by other people. People don't care about anyone who doesn't even care, who doesn't show some kind of appreciation. you don't even know how to say thank you when someone gives you. Until you can have faith in God for everything God has promised. At that point, then the right time can be that the Father releases your estate into your hands. You can be able to handle it when you have actually fixed, you shall have fixed all these other things. But until that time, it will be kept away from you. Because at one point, you will actually have to misuse what the Father has kept for long for you. And at one point, you may actually endanger your life because you cannot handle it. And at one point, you will actually find yourself disrespectful because you can't handle this thing. And at one point, you will actually put your life in a situation that will actually be so dangerous because you cannot handle what the Father has kept long for you. So at that time, that's when you can be able to understand God can trust you with what is in your heart. And the other thing that you need to understand is that when the time has come, when the right time has come, number one, you will not copy it from others. You will not ask it from others. You will not fake it, but you will have it in the way that it's actually sent to you. So you need to actually put God in the center. And that is my personal advice to you. Put God in the center. You know, David says in the book of Psalms, chapter number 23, verse number 1, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Verse number 5, he says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Let me tell you something. The biggest enemy you have is yourself. You choose not to love other people because these people are better than you, then you are jealous of them. And once you do something like that, you actually make yourself a slave. And a slave lacks something. And when you are in lack, you will not be free. But you can reverse the situation and make yourself to be free. And as a result, you can always begin to start loving people. You can appreciate people. You can start reading books. You can start learning to be disciplined. You can start actually having a particular plan that you follow. You can actually start accepting yourself in the way that you are. You can start relaxing and making people to trust you. You reverse the wheel so that you can now start having things happening in your very own life. So that is how you can actually set yourself free from lack and being subjected to other people. So it is important that you relook into your life and actually start picking things that you think might be delaying you from getting where you want to get to. You need to actually now start doing introspection and then be able to correct yourselves and then move in one step at a time and moving towards the goals that you have. Now you can make it. It's not late. It's actually the right time for you to start. Remember, God is able to do beyond imagination.
Appreciated, needed, understood, and affirmed. Find love, walk love, live love. Beyond imagination.